All right. Welcome to tonight's team call, girls. I am so excited to have Michelle share with us tonight. This girl has been rocking steps in action and consistency for the last few months, and I'm super, super proud of her. But before I pass it over to her to share with you guys, I do want to make a couple announcements because we are coming into the end of the year, and there are so many exciting things to look forward to and to be in the know about. Okay. Please make sure you check out the December calendar that I posted in the team page because it is very specific. A couple of our team calls coming up are actually going to start at 8 p.m. Like next week, because Kate and I are going to lead a vision board party, and we just want to have a little bit more time to do some interactive things with you guys on some of the calls like that. The night that we lead the push to Emerald and then go into an action session, that's going to be a little bit longer too. So just make a mental note of that and know that when I make the reminder post on Monday, it will tell you like our call time starts at 8:30 or our call time starts at 8 for those particular days. I'm sorry to be confusing, but it just gives us a little bit more time to focus on some things as we're wrapping up the end of the year. Okay. Job one is coming this week for us. So that's super exciting. I hope you guys are getting pumped about that. Even if you're not diving into the program, you guys should be trying the sample workout and talking about it because that could be the perfect fit for some of your clients right now. It's 20 minutes a day, 5 days a week, and it's only a 4-week program. That's like perfect for those who are intimidated by the longer programs or the ones that are longer in length. Like they're just not ready to tackle an 8 or 12 or 13-week program, right? So make sure that you are on the know on that. We do have a hype group going that is giving all the details. You can add your clients into there. We will have some giveaways for people who are enroll as PCs or as coaches this week to take advantage of those offers. Okay. So it launches on Thursday, and we are going to start a coach group on Monday. I personally am starting it on Monday, and I'm going to finish the year with job one. I am not going to run a separate group. Okay. It is the holidays. Running another group when I have all my girls in one, it just doesn't make sense. And because most of the people that are doing it are already coaches, what I'm going to do is a Facebook thread. So if you want to participate in that Facebook thread, or if you have girls that are in there and I maybe don't know and I'm not connected to them, but they want to participate in that message thread to kind of be in with other girls doing job one, please let me know. They're more than welcome to pop in there. It'll be kind of like when we did 75 hard earlier this year. We'll just have that message thread to kind of check in with one another, and then we can keep checking in with our normal wellness group. So we have that for you. And then the customer test group will start on January 3rd. Okay, we'll kick off the new year with job one. All right. As of right now, Kate and I have talked a little bit. It's not finalized, but most likely the way that it'll work on January 3rd is our wellness group that's starting for the year. We will just run the job one test group in that particular group. We did that with 645, and it created a lot of excitement and interest in the new program. Instead of running a group all by itself, we ran the test group within the wellness group, and that worked out really, really well. So we are planning to do it that way again. And the only other thing that I have for you, most of you should already know this because I sent out a group text and a message a few weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, I think. I am opening up slots over the next few weeks before we go into the new year to schedule one-on-one calls with you girls if you would like to talk about goals for 2022 and just have kind of a powwow session with me, a little bit of brainstorming, mapping out what actions need to be taken to help you achieve those goals. I'm more than happy to work out some time slots with you. Please bear with me. I am in the thick of All-Star really going strong right now, plus juggling family Christmas parties and things like that, but I will make it work, okay? Because I want you guys to know that I'm here to help you set that up for the year. And the only other thing I wanted to say is I am really close to narrowing down our location for the team retreat in 2022. So kind of keep your eyes open for that, for the requirements to achieve that. I am going to make the cutoff for this one. I think last year was June 1st as well, but I'm going to make it June 1st this year. And then I'm actually going to work on getting our guidelines out for to have one a little bit earlier in the year for 2023. So planning ahead a little bit more and helping us kind of keep that momentum of let's start the year off strong, but then let's also keep that momentum going and finish the year strong as well to earn the next retreat. Okay. So I'm really excited for that. I can tell you it's going to for sure have a pool. I'm looking at a couple beachfront properties. So I'm really excited about that. That's all I have for you guys today. I'm going to pass it over to Michelle and let her dive in and not take up any more of her time.
Okay. Can everybody hear me okay? Good. Okay. I think everybody on here, y'all know I'm Michelle, but if anybody's watching the recording, I'm Michelle, and I have been a coach for 2 years now. And tonight I'm going to talk a little bit about some of my struggles I've had with coaching, and there's been times I've wanted to quit coaching and what has pushed me to keep going. So when I first started coaching, my biggest fear was, what if I fail? I'm very competitive, and I was worried I could not do this and I would fail. And, I talked to Corey and she reassured me that I could do this. So I was like, oh, why not? Let's give it a try. So I'm curious, have any of you ever thought, was it your first thought too, I'm going to fail? What if I fail? Yeah. Okay, good. I'm glad I'm not alone. So like I said, over the last 2 years, I've had times where I have wanted to give up. I, compare myself to others, in our group, others on social media that are Beachbody coaches, and think, why am I not here? Forgetting that they all started in the same place we did. They didn't start off with, hundreds of followers and hundreds of clients making tons of money. No, they started off small too. And I think so many times, I look at the glamorous lifestyles they're living and the trips they're going on and forget that it didn't just start there. They weren't just given that. They had to work hard for it too. Let's see. I've also been discouraged because it took me a long time to reach a rank. And I, at times, was like, I can't even reach Emerald. There's people that are just new coaches in our group and they're reaching Emerald. Why can't I do it? And I know that I struggle a lot with invites. I'm always nervous, to get rejected, or, somebody just think I'm making a sale. And I think that's one thing I need to get better at. And I have, but I think that's what kind of held me back in the first, I would say, probably year and a half of coaching, because I was so afraid of getting rejected. One thing that always sticks in my head, I think Mindy shared with us, this nasty message she got from somebody. And I was like, oh, I'll cry if I get a message like that. So I held back because I didn't want to get a message like that. There's times that it's myself. I have self-esteem issues. I've never had a tight group of friends because in high school, I went to 3 different high schools out of the 4 years. And I've always had a hard time finding my place where I belong. And I just sometimes would feel left out because I wasn't giving my best to grow my business, and felt that oh, am I not as part of this team because I'm not at a higher rank, or I don't make or have enough clients. But that was just things in my head. I had at the beginning of the year some serious depression, anxiety, and I think a lot of it was seasonal depression. But I would say at the beginning of the year is when I kind of made a change in my life, and it changed my self-esteem, it changed my mood. And when I started to really dive in to this and realize that I needed to get out of my own head, which I'll come back to that. Some of my other things I was thinking was like, I'm taking away time from my daughter, I'm taking away time from my husband, and spending this money and investing in this business, but I'm not succeeding at it. So why am I doing this? So these thoughts were in my head over and over again for probably about a year and a half. And there were times I would cry to my husband and I'd be like, oh, I just don't belong. I can't do this. And he would just be like, do what you want. Like, thanks for the advice. That really helped me out there. He didn't really understand it. So I knew that I just needed to get out of my own head. Like, that was the biggest thing, that I was putting all these fears and doubts into my own head and kind of, I want to say like making things up. Like, it wasn't a huge deal, but to me it was. So I stopped feeling sorry for myself and I worked harder. I started creating a morning routine because I knew that that was the way to get stuff done, that I wouldn't then be taking away time from my daughter and my husband, that, you know, he's off to work, she's still sleeping, instead of working in the evenings when, you know, scrolling through my phone, texting, doing stuff when I should be paying attention to her. So I had a lot of guilt. So I needed to create a routine that worked best for our family's lifestyle. So early in this year, I started reading this book, Get Out of Your Head. And because that is what I needed to do. I needed to get out of my own head. And it seriously was life-changing for me. I'm going to share, I went through it today. I wanted to share some parts of the book that I had highlighted that really stuck with me. So the first one is, so what is the one thought that can successfully interrupt your negative thought pattern? And it is, I have a choice. I knew I had a choice to quit, or I had a choice to keep pushing and keep pursuing what I wanted to achieve. And it gives different examples, like, of the different choices we have. You know, you can change things for the better, you can stick in the rut that you're in, or you can just quit. And I knew I did not want to just quit. And then this one fit me at the time when I was going through, I was so unhappy. I didn't know why. Like, I kept telling myself I have a good life, but I just kept feeling sorry for myself. And I was so unhappy. And this says, how often have we chosen to be unhappy rather than seeing the best and celebrating the good? We have chosen to see only the struggles and complain about the bad. And that, like, when I read that, I was like, that like related to me so much, because that is exactly what I was feeling at the time. And it says, we're afraid that the feeling of joy won't last, or that there won't be enough, or that the transition to disappoint will be too difficult. We've learned that giving in to the joy is at best setting ourselves up for disappointment, and the worst, inviting disaster. And I like that it went on to ask different questions, like, do you get annoyed when people are optimistic? And at this time, yes, I was in such a bad place. Like, all the negative, like, I couldn't find any positive things going on in my life when nothing was really that bad, but I was in my own head. So if you have not read this book, I highly recommend it. It, like I said, it was exactly what I needed at the time in my life. So what changed for me to keep pushing? I met many of you in person back in September of 2020, and that was huge. Like, you know, I just was like, oh, I talk to these girls through text. I see them on the internet. I don't really know them, but when I was afraid, I think we talked about sweaty armpits, and I was afraid to meet you guys. But that was something that was life-changing, because you turned into friends, like the friends that I really needed in my life. Like I said, I moved around a lot. Like, I lived in Ohio, moved to Arizona, moved back, went to 3 different high schools. It was hard in high school, you know, making new friends, especially in small communities. I mean, I went to Genoa and Oak Harbor, and those are both very small, tight-knit communities. And I had to find a place where I could fit in. And that's kind of how I felt with coaching, but you guys have all welcomed me in, and I appreciate that. I also found joy in helping others. Yes, I may not have a lot of girls that I have helped along the way in the last 2 years, but I have enjoyed creating new relationships and watching the clients I do have grow and all of you grow too. Like I love going along with your guys' journeys as well. It's a good feeling. So I had to remember that, maybe I'm not making the sales or making clients or advancing ranks, but I am finding joy in all of the other things. Coaching also holds me accountable. Not sure if everybody knows, I do have MS, and I have been off my medication for a little over a year now. And I think a lot of that has to do with my nutrition and working out. I know working out has a huge part to do with it, because when I don't work out, like my body hurts, and I struggled with a lot of things then. So the coaching part holds me accountable. I think if I was just a Beachbody client, I probably wouldn't push myself as much as I do with being a coach, because I know I have all of you watching me, along with everybody else like that I share on social media. If I don't share, they're like, oh, where's Michelle? She's not working out. Because I do get called at work some mornings. I get called out about it. Oh, you taking a break from working out? Why aren't you working out today? So I know the coaching part really does hold me accountable. Also, my 4-year-old daughter, she loves to work out now. We got her a little, it's not a Fitbit, it's like a Garmin tracks her activity and her steps and stuff like that. And she loves coming to tell me, Mom, I've been 40 minutes active. I have so many steps. She loves seeing your guys' faces on Zoom too. Anytime she can pop her head in here and say hello. So I know I'm setting a good example for her also. Living a healthy lifestyle also helps others. Like my husband, he travels a lot, so he doesn't eat the best when he's on the road. But looking back, like if I wasn't trying to maintain a healthy lifestyle, the stuff we would probably just eat, like we'd eat crap all the time. And even like at work, people will be like, oh, Michelle, you're eating healthy again. Oh, I feel guilty eating this McDonald's cheeseburger. So I know that my eating healthy also helps others in some sort of way. I had to tell myself that everybody's journey looks different, and that I just need to enjoy what I'm doing and feel good about myself. I feel good, then that's all that matters. If I'm helping others and they feel good, that's a bonus. I know that may sound selfish in a way, but with my MS, that's the main thing I have to focus on is, pushing myself and making myself feel good. And then I know other good things will follow from that. I am very proud of myself that I have not quit. I remember texting with Corey probably not this past summer, the summer before that, and basically saying, I don't think I'm cut out for this. She would text me and I would be like, she'd be like, oh, how many invites, how many this, and that. And I would be embarrassed because I didn't feel like I was living up to, I don't mean this sound, but her standards, but she sets high standards for all of us because she knows that we can all do this. So I just felt like I couldn't, and I wanted to quit. So I am proud of myself that I have not quit, because I would miss the friendships. I would probably not be holding myself accountable. So yeah, I'm just proud of that. So a few quotes that I wanted to share with you guys that kind of have gotten me through. I always write them down and go back and look at them. But the first one is, don't be afraid to fail. Be afraid not to try. So I know that, like I said, at the beginning, I was very afraid to fail, but I also was excited to give this a try because I was up for that challenge. And I'm glad that I have stuck with it. Another quote is 90% of those who fail are not actually defeated. They simply quit. And I did not want to be a quitter. I grew up playing sports, and there were times I wanted to quit sports and my parents would not let me. So I feel like that's in my blood to not be a quitter. And then the last quote I have is, it is hard to fail, but it is even worse to have not tried to succeed. So like I said, I keep these close by and every once in a while rewrite them down as a good reminder of why I'm doing this, why I'm going to keep pushing through this, even if I'm not where I think I should be, because I am happy and I am healthy and I'm setting a good example for others. And really, that's all that matters. So I hope any of this has helped you guys. And maybe if any of you else have ever felt this way, know that you're not alone. And if you ever do want to chat, I'm up for that because I was there and I know how it feels. I think that's all I have.
So good. Can you repeat that last quote? I think I got it,
Yeah.
but I just want to make sure that last one that you shared.
Yeah. It is hard to fail, but is even worse to have not tried to succeed.
So good. Those quotes are so good. And I loved finding the joy in helping others. Like, that's exactly what this is all about, is just finding our joy in our own journey and our joy in helping inspire others. So that was so good. And the other big thing I took away was everyone's journey looks different. And I think that's so important to remember, you guys. It's so easy to look at others around us, or maybe even others on our team that, you know, we're excited for them because they're seeing success, but it's very easy to compare and go, well, they've already done this and I've been around longer than them. Why am I not there yet? Or, you know, whatever that loop looks like in your head, that soundtrack that's playing on repeat. But it's so important to remember that while we all start as a coach and at a place with no clients and no coaches yet, we all have different challenges and we all have different paths and we all have different driving forces. And sometimes we overcome those hurdles at different times and we can push and have a lot of drive. Maybe for someone, their back is against the wall and so they go all in and they go for it. And so you see them skyrocketing a little bit. But then sometimes we have to take a step back because life hits us or whatever's happening. And so you might kind of level off for a little bit. Don't get caught up in somebody else's journey, okay? Remember that you're facing your journey and your path, and focus on, like Michelle said, I had to work through whatever that challenge was. She didn't know why she was feeling unhappy, but she had to figure it out. And there wasn't going to be growth until she figured it out. You can keep pushing it off, but you're not going to have that growth or see that success that you're pushing for when you have something kind of holding you down, right? So all good tips. I'm so freaking proud of you. Like a couple times tearing up because this girl here, you guys, this is Miss Shy. Like, look at her glowing and articulating her words and leading this call and giving you guys such valuable tips. It just, we are so incredibly proud of you. And I'm proud of all of you guys. It's awesome to have so many of you on the call to listen tonight. If you have any questions, let us know and I will make sure I get the recording up. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your evening, and I'll see some of you tomorrow morning. Thank you, Michelle.